Um, yeah. So no one showed up. Um, you can see pictures of the people that might show up. There, mm, down there. Um, but none of them are here. I mean, I was set up 45 minutes ago, and I sent the message out like, hey guys, things up. But well, you know, there's no guarantee everyone's going to show up every week. The hope is at least someone shows up, though. Um, the only reason I hit the go button was because I got a message from Lulu 40 minutes ago that she'd be here in 30 minutes. Now, I know things are chaotic over there, so that's a California 30. Now, Brian also said, I'll be there in a few minutes, but that's a California few minutes. So the hope is that one of those two comments pans out in the next 5 to 10 minutes. So that's kind of what we're hanging out and waiting for. Now, as you can see here, I'm trying to lay this out to have four even equal panels, although they're not quite even. OBS doesn't do a automatically lock into quarter screen when you're dragging things, and I can't find any option to manually set the resolution of the window or capture so that I could make it a specific size. Then again, I basically checked into that a half hour before go time. But anyways, you kind of get the idea of where I want four panels to be. Although Venison doesn't get a webcam since he doesn't wear pants, so we'll just have to stick with this picture down there. But as we saw last week, Brian's got his webcam, so hopefully that'll go over there. You can see a second capture of my window there because that's what it does if the window that Brian's in doesn't exist. It grabs another window with the same name, which is so it grabs my camera twice. But I threw his picture up over there because that's where his camera will go. Lulu, apparently her webcam was ready last week during the show for pickup, so she's probably picked that up in the past week. So we might get a Lulu cam. The problem is we didn't have a chance to test the Lulu cam. So I don't know if there's a Lulu cam coming or not. I don't know if anyone's coming or not. So, yeah. That is the status of this week's show so far. I am here, and co-hosts might be coming. Now, let's see what's going on in the chat rooms. Nothing's up in the Twitch chat. Let's see if the video has started on the YouTube so I can pop into that chat room. Yeah, okay, we are live on the YouTubes. And we'll just bring that up so I could see. I got both chat rooms up. And so while we're waiting for co-hosts to show up, I guess we could talk about sound settings. I made some tweaks to the audio setup this week because, as many longtime listeners know, oh, there we go. We got, and it's the one that didn't send a message promising to be here. You beat everyone else.
Wait a minute. Oh, man. I can't kill this without putting the code in.
Okay.
Shit.
All right, well.
Okay, that's better.
I hope so.
Ah, good. You can hear me.
Yeah. I heard you from the start.
Oh, good. Give me another minute while I set this up.
Yeah. Okay. We can do that. So we're all just gonna sit here and wait for Venison to set up his stuff, and for Lulu to finish with her half hour, 40 minutes ago, and for Brian's few minutes to pass. So that's what this week's show is. It's the waiting for everyone to be ready edition of the show. It's not like we had a whole week between the last show and this show to, plan and prep but we'll wait.
Yeah, I forgot about the anti-bot login.
It'll get you every time, won't it?
Thing is such a pain in the ass. And I gotta go to my email and go grab the code.
The anti-bot login.
Yeah.
To log into
Twitch chat.
I've never gotten that.
Yeah, I get it constantly.
All right.
Every time I log in the chat, I log in, it says, "Oh, we gotta see if you're not a bot."
Word has it that people are making their way to the stage here. We've got people in the lobby, and I don't know if everyone in the lobby knows the password. But if anyone needs the password, I could message them the password, or I could just drag them right in. I try not to just drag people in, because there have been times where I drag people in and they're like, dude, I was setting my levels. Why'd you drag me in? So, yeah. There's a party going on in the lobby. That is where the party is.
Oh yeah, and Team Talk still won't install properly on this machine.
Yeah, ain't that a bitch? I don't think they've updated Team Talk since the Windows 7 era, so I that's really odd that you haven't.
They have.
They're still on version 5. They've been on.
Oh yeah, but 5.4.5.
Okay. It was last updated in 2018. Okay, I guess Tuna was out by then. So we do want to get pulled in. All right, we're gonna pull Dune in the middle of this, and
motherfucker, you need to change the fucking password.
It's been the same password for 10 years now.
Fuck off!
It's like 42 characters.
It's 7.
Don't say it.
It's 7 characters.
Do you really have to put the TT at the end? Do you really have to put the TT at the end?
No, the TT comes before the sex act.
I know, but does it really have to be in there?
I had to make it complicated enough that Jonathan wouldn't guess it after we fired him.
Oh my god.
That's how old that password is.
Who?
God, fuck.
Does this person even have the IP address anymore?
Probably not. Probably not.
Exactly.
Can you give me admin rights on here, please? I can fix this. I can fix this.
Yeah, give me admin rights too. How fucking often do we use this?
Let's we're gonna use it every week now, because now I can pop out your webcam and capture that window. All right, so
I can watch video. I forgot.
Yeah,
there we go.
Yeah, I got to work on getting the video ready. Bear with us, listeners.
She's like so disgusted.
We're actually gonna do a show at some point.
You're actually going to do a show at some point.
I don't know if my video probably won't work. Hang on a second.
Motherfucker. Asshole.
Come on.
Cunt. You're a cunt.
Okay. Now, Dune has claimed to never say that word.
I don't know what word you're speaking of.
All right, so we're going to make that Team Talk co-host 2, and we're going to capture... we're going to capture that, and oh my god, there we go. We got a Lulu over in the top left corner. Whoops, that is not Lulu's camera. That's my desk.
Worked.
We just made my desk fly.
Why does it looks funny though?
What looks what?
Why is my? Don't put me on the air, but I'm wearing.
Too bad you're already on here.
I'm wearing the shirt from my oil rig. I don't need that on there.
Ah.
I just want to see, why does it look like it?
At least you're not wearing a bra.
Venison, on the other hand, might be.
No. Oh, in regards to an earlier thing you said, no, I am not wearing pants. Laundry's being done.
My laundry is being done, and I'm wearing pants. That's because I own 2 pairs of pants. So,
dude, I haven't done laundry in so long. I ran out of underwear, and now I'm wearing fucking boxers. Leave me the fuck alone.
And speaking of boxers, Brian has joined the room.
I have to wear boxers right now. Luckily, they're Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, so they're fine.
Now let's see if I can,
Isn't that right?
What?
There it goes. It worked.
What worked?
Color me shocked. I actually changed the resolution and it worked.
Changed the resolution of what?
Now we don't see anything.
My camera.
Okay.
I see me.
You see you. That's all that matters is that Dune sees Dune, and we all see each other.
Let me shut my
But Brian is staring at his camera with a little bit of a confused look on his face. Brian, if you're talking, we don't hear you. Oh, and
Brian, I can see up your nose clearly.
Well, he left, so I think he was having some audio problems.
Damn it.
For the people just tuning in, this is the way it works every week on the.
This is
we always have some kind of technical difficulty at the beginning of the show.
Yeah.
Always.
Yeah. I mean,
I think yesterday was one of the first shows that I don't think we had any technical difficulties. It's surprising.
Dune, were you not paying attention to like the first 15 minutes of the show yesterday?
Well, it was all you. You had your pan wrong.
No. Anyways, Brian is staring at things, and we see him. We see Brian.
Here, let me do. Let's all do the Brian.
Let's all do the Brian.
You gotta raise your glasses up. There you
go. All right, can we hear Brian?
You know what's weird is he's like a guy I work with that his eyes are just out. He can see up close. He has to go like this.
You know what? I gotta capture this camera while this is happening so we can all.
What?
All right, let's.
I'm not doing it again. You can't find me.
No, I
Hang on a second.
Let's see. Here we go. There we go. Now we got 3 cameras on at one time. And only one of them is having problems hearing us. So there we go. 3 co-hosts on screen at the same time, and he just disappeared.
Brian, what are you doing?
He's having trouble getting the sound working is my guess. That's just my guess. So how was everyone's week?
Hang on, I have trouble.
Worry.
Dune's just gonna change his shirt in case I accidentally put his camera on by accident.
I did 3 fucking days of training.
3 days of training?
Yes.
What for?
I'm not pleased.
Aw.
For search and rescue. Usually there's only 2, but I had to wake up at 5 o'clock in the morning yesterday just to go 2 hours to another larger town to do map training. And I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
I was like, just Just no.
Ugh.
I don't like waking up at 5 o'clock in the morning.
Oh,
Okay, I
that
have
could be
fixed.
fun.
I have fixed the situation.
Which situation have you fixed?
You seriously put duct tape over it?
Yeah, painter's tape actually.
Oh, painter's tape?
So now Brian
Do you-
is
do
in
you
the
have a
room
Sharpie?
without camera and without audio. So at least he's consistent.
Do you have a Sharpie? Is there a Sharpie?
I was looking for one. I don't see one.
You have to put a smiley face on it. Or say, hi, my name is Bob.
That would work. I was just gonna put F off. I know Ray Rachel. What I wanted to put. Is it? Wow, his.
There we go. So now it's all Dune. because
All
when I
Dune
captured
all the
Dune's
time.
camera, it just came up huge and covered everyone. We'll just go ahead and bring that down like that. We'll just
I'm saying Dune's huge.
we'll,
There we
we'll,
go.
we'll put Dune in the middle. You know, it's kind of like at the end of the Brady Bunch opening, how you're like, well, who's that person in the middle that
There's a
was not in the
story.
song?
Of a
Yes.
lovely lady.
They just pop Alice up in the middle, and she's not in the song or anything. It's like, well, who's? Well, we had a spare square in the middle, so we'll just throw Dune there.
Well, it's like Gilligan's Island where they say "and the rest."
What's that?
Same kind of thing. That would be Brian calling in.
But
Yeah.
but
So he has audio, video, but no audio.
so he's calling in.
Yes.
But I heard him dialing. I didn't. He didn't actually ring.
Well, oh, maybe it is working.
I don't know
Does he
because I
have
don't
Team-
hear him.
I wonder if he has.
No,
if
he
has
left
TeamViewer,
again.
Oh,
I should get on his computer and just fix it for him. I wonder if he has TeamViewer.
Poor Brian.
I can make this.
see, this
work.
is
We
this
can do
is why I bring up the server and make a point to be at my computer a half hour before the show starts. That way, I could talk
On-
us all
on
through these
some shows, yes,
problems,
you do
figure
do.
these things out.
Some shows,
But
some shows you do that. Some shows.
This is why I sat there in the map training with my computer,
oh,
my laptop, my mini Chrome laptop,
training
staring
sucks.
at the wall for like an hour and a half as everyone
Well,
over
let's
the age
see.
of 45 was like raising their hand.
I can send you a
going,
laptop
I
that
can't
you can
find the
never-
map.
I still have that laptop, Johnny.
You still have that laptop. Which laptop is
I
this?
still have that. Damn,
Oh,
the one that sucks banana peels.
Oh, you know
the
what?
Dell.
That might be a step up for
The brand new
Venison.
Dell.
Oh, burn.
I never thought about
Does
that.
Team
Windows
Talk work
10,
on
it's
it?
everything he hates.
Yeah, but does Team Talk work on it?
Well, I would assume.
If Team Talk works on it, it's better than what Venison has. So that's
okay.
the
You can get to sites that
that
I'm with corn.
that.
Pretty sure.
So you're going on like all the obituary websites to mourn is what you're saying.
That would be it.
That would be it. That
would
was
be correct.
that would be.
That would be correct.
Trying to think what else rhymes with porn.
Porn.
Scorn. Scorn.
Scorn. So you go to
Porn.
you go on
H-O-R-N.
you go on Twitter and you scorn everyone.
No, I don't have time for that. Ain't nobody got time for that.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
Well, actually, I do know a guy, and he drinks grape soda, but that's beyond the point. Because he's not paying attention. Is he on Skype, by the way?
Last I saw, he was on Skype. And
Does he have this?
you know what?
Is he,
The call ended. The call ended. I maybe he went to find pants. I don't know.
full on. He full on hung up on you.
Well, you know what that means? That means
I'll let you
that
can't-
means
can't
you
tell
get
Brian's not
Venison's
here,
corner.
because technically, he's here.
That means you get Venison's corner. So we're just gonna
Well,
pull
I'm
you
not
right
gonna-
down there.
I'm not-
There you go.
I don't know if I'm gonna be here. I don't know if I'm comfortable being in Venison's lap.
I put thought into how I would arrange all four cameras for co-hosts on the screen, and actually this works out perfectly when we put Dune in the middle, because I thought to myself, well, we should make it
cool.
We should make it fair.
To be cool.
So I decided I would lay everyone out geographically. So Brian and Lulu are on the west.
Geographically.
Right, because Brian and Lulu are on the west coast. Lulu's north of Brian. So Brian gets the bottom left corner and Lulu gets the top left corner. I'm in the northeast, so I get top right. Venison's a little southwest of me over in Ohio, so he gets the bottom right. And then we threw Dune in the middle. So that worked out perfectly.
Kansas.
In fact, that worked out so perfectly. We're gonna move
Middle.
we're gonna move Dune back into the middle. Just
Who's in San Francisco?
Brian, but he's not in San Francisco. He's
I wonder if
in
he's
the Bay
if he's
Area.
a football fan. Because it brings up. I can care less about football. I really can't. I don't. It's not a big deal for me. But the Kansas City Chiefs are going to be in the Super Bowl, so should I give a crap?
Well, but Kansas City is in Missouri.
No.
Missouri?
Missouri.
Misery.
It's Missouri. It is. I say Missouri.
Missouri.
He makes fun of me. He makes fun of me when I say Missouri.
Yeah. Well, I say it mocking everyone who says it. Bam. It's okay.
This guy.
No,
Missouri.
but there are two Kansas Cities. It's just that usually
That's like me saying
Sure.
Warsh.
well, Toon says that too.
Thank you, dude.
Whoosh.
Thank you.
That was beautiful. That's like whenever Dave would ask a question and everyone in the Horde section start raising their hands.
That's right.
It's one of my favorite
And I
moments of the
do-
Letterman show.
And I sometimes like oranges.
Orange.
Don't
There's
ju-
nothing
don't
wrong with
judge
an
me.
orange.
Don't judge me, Johnny.
I'm not judging you.
Okay,
I'm
is
celebrating
it a creek
you.
or a crick?
It's creek.
Thank
I say
you.
creek. I say creek.
Thank you. It's creek.
So should I try to call Brian's phone and find out what's going on over there?
Yes, please.
The real phone, yes. And if not, call the
Actually, you know what? Why am I picking up my
Call
phone
his
to call his phone?
wife that's half his age.
That's not
Call
his
his
wife.
half-age
We
wife.
don't even know her name, let alone her
So-
number.
She's Asian.
I can't. Can I screen share that picture?
Sure,
think
we
I
don't know
can.
who she
She's
is.
fucking Asian.
All right. All right, we're gonna
Hello, Chicago.
Hello, Chicago. Hey, wow, I am really on location this week. Apparently, no, it's not Chicago. But what's? Are you having some headset or audio problems?
I go in to the team talk.
Uh huh.
It comes up. I connect. I can see everybody there
Right.
on the list,
Right.
but there's no video. There's no audio. There's nothing.
Huh.
Do you see me connect?
We see you connect. We see you staring at the camera, looking confused, and we've seen this multiple times
you
now. We've been giving play-by-play commentary on your facial expressions.
I had a feeling that did I pick my nose or anything like that? Really embarrassing.
No,
Do you
no.
have TeamViewer on there, by the way?
Yeah,
'Cause
Brian,
I
do you-
can get on. I can get on your computer. I can get on your computer and tech support it for you.
yeah.
We had a little trouble
I'm willing-
connecting last
I'm-
week.
Yeah,
willing
this
to do
What
that.
the hell is it?
this worked last week. So, all right, signal flow. So when you go into like your sound settings and send like the test sound to your headset, do you hear that?
Let me try it again.
And you two at home can follow along and learn how to work
Team
tech
viewer.
support. You see, I
Say that again.
This-
well, you know, you right-click the little speaker icon in there, and you open up your sound settings, and you got your sound devices in there. So you click your manage sound devices, and that brings up the window that lists all your sound devices.
Under sound system?
When was sounds? sound system.
This
What
would
do
be
you-
a great test to see if
1,
anybody's
2, 1,
actually
2.
paying attention. But
Oh, hang on a
he
second.
should get Team Viewer, give me the username and password over the air,
Yeah.
and see if I can get in there first before somebody else does. That would be a great experiment.
Testing 1, 2, 3. Come on, test.
And,
Select.
and speaking of bad ideas,
Testing 1, 2, 1, 2.
we have Venison back on the line.
You just
I seriously
had to
wouldn't.
mention
Dear God.
I would get on his
Didn't you?
computer though if he'd let me.
Uh,
Do you
Oh.
have it installed?
okay.
Hey, dang it.
Oh my God, we got you in stereo.
Okay, I just heard. There. Okay, I see him now. Hang up Skype.
Okay.
Hang on Skype.
Didn't we go through? Didn't we go through this last week with him?
Yes.
Yeah,
I
but
think it was almost like this is like
But this was a
Vujade.
lot worse because I got nothing. But
Yeah.
I, you know, one of these days, you know, the thing is, you know, you should connect, and it should just connect
it should.
instead of all these extra steps.
Well,
know,
it
and he has a
usually
really-
does.
It's
But
a
that's
really
the
widescreen
thing.
format
Okay,
too.
so everybody guess what was the main point of failure?
Probably your mic.
Well, it was both the mic and the
Get a
headset,
little more
though.
specific.
The
Lulu, you're in the right direction, but you're not there yet.
the full headset.
It was muted.
No, I checked that. That was obviously the check.
Wasn't plugged in.
Do knows. Look
It
at
wasn't
that.
turned
He
on.
pulls in that power beer and
It wasn't turned on. Was it turned off?
the headset was not turned on. Damn.
Well, this is how we find out who our real fans are. If you're still watching,
Sup with the old guy in the middle. I'm told. Wow.
thank you, Heat FM Mod.
Wow.
So how about we have 4 webcams and a picture of an old guy up on the screen at the same time.
This could blow up any second.
Yeah,
It's unreal.
it's
It already did.
You-
Thank you for mentioning
I-
technical difficulties.
And I do notice that why do you use that picture?
which picture?
I guess you only have 2 pictures available of Venison. You have that one.
I
and you
have more
the one,
pictures.
You have the one of him leaning against a
Don't
car
you
that's not
dare.
really there or something.
Yeah, I don't even know where that picture is anymore. So I just, I mean, he smiled. He smiled for this picture. He smiled for this one. That's why I pick it.
Leave it alone.
I have more pictures.
Let me do it. Let me do a search on the internet.
Don't
See if I can
even.
find one.
Hey,
Oh, I
another cool
am.
thing.
Yeah.
Let me see.
I'm
After the
opening
show last
Pandora's
week-
box, bitch.
After the show last week, I took off my headsets, and my ears were completely black because the foams was so bad.
just-
Oh.
It decided to leave itself.
You
in
wanna
my
know what's
ear-
really
in both
freaky?
ears. But
Wait
hey,
a second.
I replaced them
I've
now.
got to hang
Whoa.
on. Hang on. I've got to send.
Oh wow.
How can I send this to you? How can I send this to you?
All right, Dude wants to send me something apparently.
How can I send this as a link? How do you send a Google result as a link? There's got to be a way. isn't
Well, there's
there?
got to be a way. While you figure that out, though, so Brian, now this is the headset that Mars recommended, right? So we can blame him for your black ears. Wait, that sounded wrong.
Yeah, but that was 5 years ago. You know, those things won't last forever.
Oh, I see. Your foams are unfoaming.
But I've
in
replaced them.
again.
I got this deal from Amazon.
How can I do this?
Rose Rice heads ear cushions. Oh, Rose Nice. Sorry, I can't read.
You want
Or
2 more
another
pictures
power
of
between the
venison?
ears.
No.
Oh
So
yes.
venison, when are you going to get a cam?
I think I
webcam?
spelled it wrong. I did.
Never.
When I did it, 2 pictures of Ian Lee came up, and I'm not kidding.
You
Wow.
when searching for what brought up Ian Lee?
I typed in venison 88 with 2 N's. I spelled it wrong. Venison 88, no spaces, 2 N's.
Yeah, that sounds right.
No, with a yeah, VENNISON 88
Wrong.
Yeah, that's no venison.
under images. Under images.
Venison did call in to Ian Lee's show enough times to get banned. And
Then I think that's why.
you know, it's funny.
Gators,
Yes.
I have 2 pictures of venison.
Okay. All right. Well, maybe we could rotate
Where do you
them.
want them?
Okay, so once again, so the little
I guess
Mars
you
dude
could
comes up.
Dropbox and send me a link or whatever.
I don't have
A picture of
Dropbox
Brian
anymore.
comes up.
Okay. Facebook Messenger. Does that let you send images or Twitter or
Yes.
You know,
Oh, I'll send him Twitter.
You know what else there is?
what else is there?
There's a bunch of picture of weed.
Weed.
There's a Wild Bunch Radio's Soylent Radio show.
Okay, that makes sense. So anyways, you know what we should do? We should actually open the show because now that we're all here, we can open the show.
There you go.
Because once again, you're tuned in to another fun-filled edition of
Insert title here.
the show that changed its name so often. We put a placeholder in. We'll go back. We'll fill that in later. And
Picture of Zoe.
this week, we are all here and Dune. We are up a co-host this week. So, and how is everyone this week?
And a dog.
Fucking fantastic.
All right, so apparently
A ray of fucking sunshine.
there we go. So we got I've seen those.
We had snowed here for the past 3 days.
Oh, there we go. This picture has snow in it, so we'll just go ahead and we'll okay.
Lots of weed.
So it's not letting me just save the picture because the Twitter
Searching for me. You find weed.
Yes. Oh, the picture of Damon.
you search for venison and you find pictures of Damon. We got to tell Damon about
Picture of
this.
Damon. It's the one of him holding the spatula.
That's
What
great.
the fuck?
Well, you know, it just searches for pictures on the same page as the things mentioned. So, you know, you can find any one of us if you search for venison.
Binks, the fuck are you doing?
All right, there we go. So we'll go ahead and we'll appease the viewing audience by putting in a new venison picture.
Picture of Stalin and a picture of
Stalin.
Cuban guy.
What?
Yes.
No,
Holy crap.
you need a picture of Chairman Meow.
Meow. Yeah.
Yes, Chairman Meow. A picture of Chairman Meow. Now. Yeah.
There we go. There we go. We got another picture of venison with a cigarette hanging out of his mouth out in the snow. So that
This is interesting.
and that made it.
and just like that, he's gone. There's a picture of banana with a smile on it.
Okay, so how was everyone's week?
I guess better than venison's.
Yeah.
Picture of
Lulu had some
holding his
training.
nuts.
Now, Brian, you're living the retired life, so that's got to be fun.
Where the fuck did my ashtray go? Where the fuck? Someone came in and stole my ashtray! What the fuck?
You know what? I swear I think that there are like gnomes that move my stuff around in my place because I bought a bunch of SACDs a few weeks ago. I listened to a few of them once, and then one of the ones I listened to, I couldn't find it. And so my first thought is well, I must have put it over on the other shelf, but it wasn't there. Well, I must have put it in the car,
Seriously.
but it wasn't there.
Oh, shit, it's right in front of me.
So I must have left it in the kitchen. Well, it wasn't there. Well, I reached the point where I lifted off the lid of the toilet tank because that was like the last place left of the house to check. You ever get to that point where it's like, well, there's only one place I haven't checked, and you lift the lid off the toilet?
Ow! You cunt!
Okay, so this is happening right now. What was that?
The cat attacked my big toe.
What's this say? Venison saw anal.
Meanwhile, Johnny was talking about what the cat did with his SACDs.
Well, it turns out so there's an area in my room where there's a little waste paper basket and a full hefty bag's worth of trash piled on top of it, because it's in between a shelf and a table. So you just kind of keep stacking stuff up there. So I finally decided, well, this is going to be the guest room next weekend because Gothard's coming for a visit. So I better get a hefty bag and clear out the trash. And what was there behind the pile of trash? The SACD when it dropped off the shelf behind the trash. So there you go. I almost threw out one of my SACDs.
Oh,
Yes,
that's always fun.
the trash receptacle can be a dangerous place.
Yes. It can catch
I
things
forget
that
where I
fall.
was, but I was at a place where, the good old days of printers, you'd have all these mechanical parts that you stick on there, feeders and all that kind of stuff. But one of these mechanical parts was left on the trash barrel as a setting it aside, and the janitor took that thing away because it was just assumed to be trash.
Ah.
Is it me or does Venison look like a drug dealer?
Well, he does make a mean sandwich. The illegal turkey sandwich. Let's not forget.
I would like his turkey recipe.
Yeah.
I really would.
I mean, he looks like
To
he's
make
in
a
front
mean
of a
turkey
school
sandwich.
peddling weed. That's what it looks like right there.
I don't know. It just looks like an old guy going out for a smoke. Anyways,
Or that.
or that. One or the other.
And he's checking his
Shut
wallet,
up.
right? So he could buy some weed.
So Brian, I've got us all laid out. If you look at us on the Twitch or the YouTube channel, I've laid us out geographically.
Oh, I have to pull up the
Because you and Lulu are both on the West Coast. Lulu's north of you. I'm in the Northeast. Venison is a little south and west of me, so he's in the bottom right corner, and then we threw Dune in the middle. So we've got the whole country represented here, except for Florida.
Nobody wants Florida.
We don't talk about
Not even
Florida.
Cuba.
No. But anyways,
Florida wants Florida.
Florida wants
California, but like Baja California.
It's warm. It's warmer there.
All right. So, I finally got around to doing something this week that I've been meaning to do for about 20 years or so. I decided it was time to start digitizing some of my 78s. And Brian, you inspired me a little bit because last week you're talking about your, Beethoven box set. And I figure I got to show you what a Beethoven box set
Beethoven
really...
no Bach.
Box with an X. Yeah, that Beethoven Bach duets box set where they
Yes.
Beethoven revived Bach's rotting corpse and they did some duets and fun was had by all. There you go. Dune says no, apparently. No, but this here is a real box set right here. This is Beethoven's Ninth Symphony on 8 easy-to-listen-to shellac 12-inch 78 RPM discs. And
now that's a box.
yeah, it kind of makes you understand the whole concept of when we make this new digital disc format, we're going to make it so that you can listen to Beethoven's Ninth on one small disc. No more of this bullshit. And the sad thing is I spent hours today cleaning these records meticulously one by one. That's 8 records. That's 16 sides. How do you clean a 78? Well, you want to use LP cleaner because that's alcohol based and you don't want to put alcohol in shellac. So I use soapy water and rinse it off under the tap. And I probably could have used denatured or distilled water, but I didn't have time to boil that. So I just it works fine. A little soapy water, a little rinsing, they look good as new. and I queued them up one by one and recorded them in. Now, I decided it would be easiest to record each disc in one at a time, which means I started by listening to the first part of the first movement and then listening to the end of the fourth movement. Then I listened to the next part of the first movement and then a little bit.
Now, do you have the CD that proves the theory it all fits on one CD? I'm just wondering because it wouldn't be Johnny if you didn't go through and listen to each song and figure out whether they chopped off an intro or an outro.
Well, here's the thing.
And then replace it to make it right.
It all depends on who's conducting, because different conductors take different pieces at different tempos. For example, Bruno Walters' 1938 recording of Mahler's Ninth does all fit on a CD, but just about anyone else's recording of Mahler's Ninth just doesn't fit on a CD, forcing it to be a 2 CD set.
So they're doing it wrong.
Well,
or they're doing it right. I'm not sure.
It's been suggested that Bruno Walter intentionally took the fourth movement a little faster than he normally would have to help out the recording engineers so that they could fit it onto 1078 discs, because an 11 disc box set would just be crazy. But no, this recording of Beethoven's Ninth is conducted by Felix Weingartner. Although maybe that W is pronounced like a V. Maybe it's Weingartner. I don't know. I don't know the dude. He died in 1942. And I know that because this cover says it. So I know this is a reissue from after 1942, but this recording was done in 1935. And
what orchestra?
The Vienna Philharmonic. Yeah, we're going to need some pot for this. So it's
I have to hang on. Let me mute this.
25.
This is the name of this is the fourth movement. Is this it?
Yeah, that sounds just like Beethoven.
Also called the fourth movement.
Yeah.
This is Incubus, though. Probably not. Probably not.
Are we talking about Mahler's fourth movement or Beethoven's fourth movement?
This is fourth movement. Oh, I don't know. I just typed in fourth movement. This one's fourth movement. Oh, this one's a live fourth movement. It sounds like Batman.
Okay. All right. So here's the point I'm making here. These records turned out to not be as good sounding as I was hoping. So here's what I come up with after all day of recording and cleaning up and EQing and stuff like that. I get something that sounds a little something like. All right, not bad for 78s. Not bad for 78s. And then I spent 15 minutes doing a Google search, and I found a completely legitimate torrent download of the same recording.
Ooh, you were robbed. They de-hissed the shit out of that thing.
Yeah, but those records are in a little better shape than mine. Well, there's a question of, who do you want, less hiss or more hiss, or did they take more out with the hiss? And I'm glad you brought that up, Dune, because I was going to talk about that. Because I worked on recording my Mahler records in the Bruno Walter Mahler's Ninth. Of course, I did that one first, and so I've come up with two different.
Hiss all the time.
Oh.
Thank you, Warhawk.
Thank you, Warhawk. Because now here's the first setting I used, which has a little bit of rumble and a little cough in the audience, but and I thought that sounds all right. But what if I did it with the other setting that's not as harsh? And we got a bit more hiss here. But I don't think it's a bad hiss. I think it's just, some sound in the medium. And I think it adds more air to the sound. And I thought to myself, is it just because I'm hearing hiss that I think it sounds more airy, and I'm really just adding noise, or is the dehissing really taking out too much? So since I did the 2 ones on the same file and they sync up perfectly, I put them out of phase and combined them to find out just what am I really taking out. And so this is the difference
Taking
between
out
those.
the light.
Yeah, it turns out this is what is removed when you go harsher with the noise reduction. And that's a lot of sound in addition to the hiss.
That's right, because you want the flight of the bumblebees.
There you go.
There's nothing wrong with bumblebees.
Nothing wrong with bumblebees.
Exactly. My point.
So I have two
I think
examples.
it needs more smile.
More smile. I have 2 examples of professional releases of the same piece. So here's the CD that EMI put out some years ago, which is not bad considering it's 78s, but man, they really no-noised it.
And they slowed it way down.
And then Dutton Vocalion did their own remastering off a set of 78s, and they added a little reverb to it. And that depends. I mean, is that okay to add a little reverb to the
Everything's
78s?
better with reverb.
What's that?
Everything's better with reverb. Everything.
But is that? I mean, is that okay or not? You know, and that's a matter of taste. Some people will be
As
like,
long as it's not too much, because I've heard some
Flange
recording
it.
they throw out there.
Go for
Is
flange.
the reverb is so bad.
I think it kind of enhances the recording, but I also think it is kind of inauthentic to add something to the recording that wasn't there. But then again, it's not like it sounds like you're really in the concert hall. So, I mean, you're adding something that's missing. I mean, is that okay? Is it not? That's something that...
Okay, listen, Vanilla Ice. It's okay to add shit. It's okay.
Uh-huh. And so you compare that to what I came up with, and, you know, I decided to go a little, you know, easy on the noise reduction. And I made Mahler's 9 sound just like the Skype ringtone. I don't know how I did
That's
that.
pretty awesome. That's pretty awesome.
Hello! How's your reboot going?
Fuck!
So
3
that's where you've
times.
been.
Yeah, it crashed 3 times.
Crashed 3 times on Win 7 if you hate me.
Well, that's
Yeah.
what you get for not like upgrading, dude.
I thought they turned off Win 7. I
It's
thought you couldn't
fully
even use it.
upgraded.
Well, they turned off. They're not supporting it, which means that now here's the thing.
Oh, I thought it meant they turned it off.
Well, if
I
they,
got all the
That'd be
See-
upgrades.
funny, wouldn't it?
that'd be funny if they do.
See, that's the thing. Once you hit non-support, you should actually upgrade, so that way
Yeah.
your things don't like break.
And I'm not saying this to say that you don't have to upgrade. I mean, but if you're gonna have a computer on the internet, accessing things, the way to be best protected is to have an up-to-date supported operating system. That said, there were some security vulnerabilities that came out within the past few years that caused Microsoft to throw out a Windows XP patch. And so just because it's not supported doesn't mean that Microsoft won't put a patch out if they think that it's such a huge security risk that it's in their best interest to. So I found that very interesting. I think it was within the last year there was some major exploit that Microsoft patched XP for. And
Yeah.
that
So
got one of-
supported, not supported except for oh shit.
right. I mean,
Yeah, I got one of those last month.
so yeah. But the thing is, they're not going to patch every little vulnerability every week. So you're going to be, as time goes on, you're going to be more and more vulnerable. Lulu.
By the way, Johnny,
Yes?
before we move away from kind of add the reverb to the recording,
Right.
topic. Oh, that's right. We already did.
No,
Basically, for the
I still
people
got the files up.
listening to radio, For Lulu, the weed is working. It's working.
And for Brian,
Oh, it's been working all day, dude. I've been
Fuck
nice.
thank you,
So
Doom,
the-
for bringing
the
us back to
question is,
Reverb.
Do you have the Rolling Stones Blues and Lonesome album or CD?
Fuck this. I'm getting
I have some Rolling Stones greatest hits collections, so I might have what you're
Well,
looking.
No, from that album.
I
The
don't.
question is, there's a lot of reverb on it. Is it appropriate or is it just gross?
Oh, I see. Is this a so? This the people have spoken unfavorably about this album due to the amount of reverb that was used in it.
No, this is just a question I have. That's all.
Oh, just a question. Because you have an opinion about this, I take it. Well, let's pull this up on YouTube then.
vodka
I
and
would
gay.
like some Yoko Ono with reverb too.
Oh
Fuck.
God.
So that
I
would
think
make it
that
better.
would be-
You don't have
That
to
would
add the
be
reverb to
awesome.
Yoko Ono. It just reverberates in your head over and over.
Damn, look, piss everybody off tonight.
Okay. So, Rolling Stones Black, Blue, whatnot? What's this now? What am I?
Blue and Lonesome.
Okay. Usually people will post full albums to YouTube. These are known as people that get copyright strikes. So let's find some of those people. Oh, no, actually, it's posted right on the Rolling Stones site. Okay, so this is the song Blue and Lonesome. Off of Blue and Lonesome.
Title tune. Title tune.
Now, do you have a song recommendation, or is this the one, this will be adequate?
Title tune is just,
Uh-huh.
it's a good one to go by. If you're going to play this, you have
Yeah.
to play it significantly louder.
Oh, okay. This
Ear
sounds...
bleeding.
This sounds like the Rolling Stones trying to sound like a cheap garage band. And if that's the sound they're going for, the
Brian.
reverb is appropriate.
Brian, are you blue and lonesome because you don't have your Asian wife?
Au contraire.
Wow.
I just had to go there. I'm sorry.
It sounds
Yeah,
like
why
you.
not?
It sounds like you had a laugh
gotta
with this
be-
with your Asian wife after the show.
Besides the technical ineptitude, there's the Asian wife.
Okay, more vodka.
So Brian, you brought this up to your wife last week. I take it from the tweets that came after
Yeah.
the show.
No, from the show itself. You know that discussion.
How did that discussion go?
Oh, it was a gas. It was
You
funny.
know, if you showed her the picture and said, "This is who they think I'm married to," she would probably dig that.
Well, she was familiar with the picture, so
Okay. Just
Yeah, that's what it seems like she says.
So did you
In
start the
the back
conversation
office,
with?
he's
Remember
like,
that picture of the hot Asian chick I took some years ago? That probably wasn't a good opener.
no, I didn't lead it off that way.
Let me see if I can
So
find that
Brian,
picture.
Funny about
I take it, is that what they're going for on this recording that you recommend I check out? They're trying to sound like a amateur garage
Telling
band.
you to go get a blue Asian wife.
Well, that's kind of two conversations going on at once.
Yeah,
So
No,
glad
that's
you're
the
not
kind of
sleeping on
thought
the
that I
couch.
had.
yeah.
Do you think that was a good idea, or you know?
Um,
I'm just
Madison, go
curious
get a
what people
Russian
think.
bride. Okay?
I don't. I'm never.
Question no.
I've never been huge on the Stones, and where does this fit in on their catalog? When did this album
I
come
want
out?
Asian,
Even
too.
Only a couple years ago.
okay, all right. Well, you know what? The
Yeah.
Rolling Stones have done anything and
Oh, I
everything.
found it. I found
Why
it. I
not
found
pretend to be a cheap
found it.
garage band?
Well, and also the theme is blues, so you know that seems
They're not a blue
appropriate
band.
anyway.
Yeah.
They're not a blue band. By far, no.
What?
They're not a blue band.
I guess the idea
I don't
of
feel.
performing the blues sounding like they're in a.
Is Warhawk still in the room? He is. I'm going to send him
I
a
would
picture.
suggest, Lulu, that
What?
the blues was a bigger influence to the Stones than they were to the Beatles.
Well,
I'm
yeah,
gonna send him
but they're
picture
not a
of-
blue
of Brian's
band.
wife.
What color do you think they are? Orange?
Don't say that.
You know, I remember my next door neighbor had a Smurfs album. Does that count? Is that the blues?
They what?
And the Blue Man Group
I
is
know,
the best
I know
band
blues.
ever.
I know the blues had a big blues and country had a big influence on the rock and roll
There
genre.
she is.
But
There she is, right
they
there.
are not a blues cover band.
So where are we looking
Okay,
for
Warhawk.
what?
Granted, Led Zeppelin did more, shall we say, unintended
Led Zeppelin
blues
did.
coverage than anybody.
Led Zeppelin did blues covers and then gave themselves credit for them. In an era where no one had the time or resources to sue them over it. And it took many years later before people finally came back and said, hey, fuck you.
Right.
Brian, you took some great pictures, by the way. You absolutely knocked this out of the park. I forgot how cool these were.
He didn't
Well,
use
you know,
the...
I was trying to take it seriously.
You did. I'm so proud.
Yeah.
I forgot
I only
how
wish
great
that,
these
oh,
looked.
brother.
Oh, which one?
Did you take one with your cock and balls?
And nothing Warhol. We just wanted to see if you were still here.
What's going on, Brian? You got a text coming in?
No, I was looking up that album and see if there was a date on it.
Ah, I see.
There, Warhawk. You see what I'm talking about now. I didn't realize too. This building, was there like a huge flood in Singapore? Because there appears to be a big ship stuck on top of these buildings.
Oh, that's some Marina
Well,
Bay Sands.
what year
Okay.
was that earthquake that caused the tsunami to hit in that area?
Yeah, but
You
Singapore
didn't get that picture,
didn't get hit.
Warhawk?
Singapore didn't get hit. I know
No.
that a lot of the
Thailand
islands
did.
got hit.
Yeah, Thailand. Yeah.
Oh, I didn't hit the send button. Sorry.
Yeah, I wasn't sure what you were talking about or where we're supposed to be looking.
There we go.
So.
You're not supposed to be. I sent this to Warhawk to see
Oh,
because Warhawk is uniquely qualified to appreciate this picture.
doing a Warhawk and just having a private conversation right here in the middle of our
Yes,
show
we-
because that's
we
the
are.
service we
I'm
provide.
sorry.
Oh,
I apologize.
by the way,
Oh,
dude.
by the way, I agree with that picture you put on me up.
Okay.
I'll accept it.
All right, good. We
Yeah,
got
you
approval.
were playing with your scanner and had a cigarette in your mouth. You were
Yeah.
picking Bob Tits and I up from the fucking station.
Oh
Tits.
yeah. But I'm wondering
Yes,
there,
tits.
Nice.
in the background, is that a lamppost leaning to the side?
Yes, dipshit.
What
Yes.
the fuck happened?
Fuck if I know it was your area.
Anyways,
I
It was in
just,
fucking Jersey.
I just noticed that.
Oh my god.
oh, Dune, did you see who went live earlier today?
I did not.
Oh,
I
you
was
missed
working.
it. Her
What did I miss?
Stanker put on a great show today.
Damn. That guy's awesome. Isn't
That
he?
guy is awesome.
He is freaking awesome.
He is free, and he was doing more of the movie quotes and jamming out.
Don't let the name fool you. 'cause
No,
having
it's
Stanker
he-
in it doesn't mean
Her
anything.
Stanker is just well, he's Hungarian, so
Is that what it is? Okay. but
some
he is
names don't translate well.
absolutely Amazing.
He is.
Amazing. Totally amazing.
That's
Her
HERR
stinker.
HERRSTENKER. Her
And I
Stinker.
think if you subscribe to his channel, he'll put your name on a rubber ducky.
Yeah,
I think that's what he
he's
does.
got he has
that's
this like cool hat with the rubber ducky taped to it. So that is
Yes.
great. And he just
Yes.
grooves out and he sets a drum beat, sets a few loops, and just jams. and he was doing like a funk
And talks
disco
about
thing.
bathrooms.
Yeah, he doesn't. He was doing a funk disco thing today. It was awesome.
Oh wow! I wish I'd caught.
You had
that.
to go catch the recording of it now.
Man.
All right, so
There you go. Well, listen, I cannot stick around because I got. Okay, don't judge me. I got stuff in the wash. Don't laugh. Don't
Dude,
laugh.
dude.
Wash.
I got stuff in the wash too, but it'll wait till after the show.
Wash.
It ain't going anywhere.
Wash.
I do too.
Marsh.
That's why I'm naked.
All right,
'Cause it
dude.
has to go from the wash to the dryer.
Nobody wants to know that you're naked.
Bah. Okay.
Don't
I may
no
pop back
judging.
in, but
All right, thanks for joining us,
Wash.
Dune.
all right, you take care.
All right, bye.
Bye.
Bye bye.
Bye bye. That's why I don't have a can.
Now I got to figure out which which window to turn off because now we just got a frozen Dune in the middle of the screen. Let's see, no, not that one, not that one, not that one. Oh, he's on top, so it's got to be no. That's Lulu. No, that's the. Oh, there we go, Dune Cam. There we go. So, Brian,
Oh.
how's retirement treating you?
He FM and naked
Good.
too.
Oh, you're retired.
I feel like I'm more tired than retired.
When did you retire?
Years
I
ago.
retired before I moved to Singapore, which is 5 years ago or more.
Oh,
I just-
I thought
6 years
it was
ago?
new.
I'm just trying to bring up change the topic to be like what are you up to lately with retirement, just to try to get the conversation rolling along. So
You bitch!
Well,
I
we-
thought it was
we
a
went
new
to-
thing.
I'm sorry.
Well, in a way, it is a new thing because, first of all, we spent 2 years I retired, and then we spent 2 years in Singapore. That's kind of like being a long-term tourist.
Yeah, that was your job, was to be a tourist for 2
That's
years.
right.
So it was like working.
And then when I got back, moved into the house. Moving is not retiring.
No, that's not. And he had two
although
houses to set up.
We didn't. That's right. So, and there was a good six months gap between the move into the two houses, so that was just a prolonged event
Right.
Oh, wow.
because we had the stuff in the garage for the other house, but it was still being rented. We weren't going to kick renters out. They volunteered to move on, which we were happy about. They were
Woohoo.
great renters.
Yeah.
And then we moved into back into that place, and then I started going down to visit my folks. So visiting my folks
Yeah, that would
to help them out,
Mhm.
was a long ordeal. And of course, they passed away this last summer. So
So that was
finally, shall we say, I get to retire.
So
Oh,
now
wow.
so now you got to figure out
Okay.
what to do with yourself.
That's correct. Do internet radio show and stupid stuff like that. Yeah.
So now you could like do more internet radio shows and you could become an internet
Naked,
celebrity.
naked.
Well, let's get one down working. Fine. Well, hopefully next week I'll just connect on, get on time.
Brian, I've
Because
been
last week and this week I was late, and
Yeah.
then I had connection issues like I'm an idiot. So,
I've been doing this show since 2005. I haven't quite gotten it right yet. So we got to
well, I'm being optimistic that when did I start doing this?
Wow. Well, you started
It's been 5 years anyway, right?
right. Well, when you moved to Singapore, we made you a frequent caller because we would call you to check in and how an
Right.
American at Singapore. That's how I brought you onto the show, and it just kind of snowballed from there.
Right.
So that was how many years
See,
ago?
that's
now?
about 6 years ago.
Wow. It's so
Because we got back in 2015. So,
right.
Don't you
Before the
mean
end of 2015.
landslided?
Right. You got back just in time for me to leave.
and I got these bad boys while I was in Singapore. I came back to the States and I bought these things.
Nice. So now, Venison, how's retirement treating you?
What?
Well, you're also retired, so
Bored. It's
Hey, you're
Dude,
on
we've
an
been
internet,
bored for
an
a
exciting
while.
internet radio show there, dude.
There's nothing here.
we all lead exciting lives. This is why we do a show to talk about it.
Yeah, but aren't you in an exciting new location?
Exciting my ass.
Hey, you get to decide the president. That's
Yeah,
about the only
right.
thing Ohio has going for it. It's their vote counts. I mean, we all know what my state's doing. We all know what Brian and Lulu state's doing. We have no clue what Ohio's doing.
California
I
is
don't-
trash.
I don't have no clue either.
California is trash. They're fighting the bubonic plague and tuberculosis in fucking Los Angeles with the fucking homeless.
Mm.
Fucking San Francisco, they're letting people shit and piss on the streets. Fucking finding
That's better
dirty
than
needles.
better than shitting on the
Everywhere.
escalator. But,
New York's been doing
I'm
that
su-
for years.
I'm sure they're finding shit on the escalators too.
Oh yeah.
Fucking New York is following suit. I mean, like, it's the fucking United States is going under.
New York's been doing that.
Well, you know, big city problems. That's what it is, right? People go to the cities because there's stuff to do. Unlike,
Big heat.
you know, the little tiny community that Venison is in, right?
Now,
Mhm.
aren't there
Hey,
more?
Heath, let's start a news column in chat.
Isn't there a large amount of public restrooms in San Francisco, though? I would think that San Fran would have less of a problem with shit in the streets with the number of toilets they have available.
You got me.
Uh,
I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't live there.
They should set up, just bring out some porta potties.
Yeah, well, I mean, I think they do have like public restroom, like those things that are with a door on them, and that's on the those not exactly porta potties, but they're like a permanent porta potty.
I think now you have to
But-
pay to go into them.
Well, then that's what you see when you start charging people to take a shit. That's when you get shit on the street. So whoever's putting those policies in places, that's their own damn fault.
Yeah. Well, you got this thing where somebody's got to pay for it, so let's make the guy that's taking a shit pay for it.
Well, then he's gonna shit in the street. Congratulations, you just solved the problem of paying for the toilet.
Right.
Now grab a shovel. So that's what it comes
It's
down
like
to.
It's
how
just-
much in
I know-
California, how much illegal weed is there still floating around?
Oh, dude, we're dropping numbers.
Right? Is it easier to find illegal weed or legal weed?
Illegal weed or illegal weed? You mean legal versus
Illegal.
illegal? Well, technically, it's all
Illegal.
illegal on the federal level.
Yeah.
No, we're
it's
talking
all
about on
illegal.
the state level, a licensed place versus a unlicensed.
Well,
There's a higher tax. You're paying more for. You're paying more than what illegal weed is.
Because of the taxes.
But how
because of
much?
taxes.
How much more
Isn't
is
that
it?
brilliant? I thought the idea would be to get rid of illegal weed. No, instead it's a tax revenue.
Yeah.
Well, that was the big
because
It's
they're
argument.
charging.
like booze. When
they charge.
when Prohibition was over, what did they do? Tax the crap out of it. So there still is illegal booze.
Yeah.
Unregulated, unsafe, etc., etc.
And
Buy
the
Buy
new
that shit and
TV
it could
show.
kill you.
All right, let Lulu talk.
Sorry, Lulu.
They charge 22% tax on pot. And pot, depending on the quality, can go anywhere from $10 to $22 a gram.
Okay.
So figure out $10 a gram plus 22% tax. You're looking at, say, $15, $16 for, say, like just a little amount. anything if you're going at a quarter ounce, that's like $50 there,
But-
pretty much.
Now, but I've heard
That's cheap.
a big part of the debate on legalizing pot, though, has been, you know, you tax it, you can make money off of it. This is why you should legalize
Well,
it.
yeah,
So
you can make
you know,
money off of it.
we made this bet.
You can make money off of it, but what they're doing is basically ruining the pot industry, because not only are you taxing the fuck out of it, you're also taxing the growers. You're making it impossible for them to regulate their prices because of all of the what is it? All of, like, there's they go under a different property tax. They go under a different agricultural tax. They go under a different
You know, I get what you're
a different licensing.
basically.
They go and they pay out so much fucking money for the DEA, the fucking state, the fucking county, the fucking and then they have to try and find buyers, and they have to lower their prices to these stores, and the stores have to raise their prices just to make the money back. The California has fucked over the pot industry so bad.
Brian, could you?
They
So if you're a
Mike.
grower, you won't bother to get licensed.
Now you know $50 a quarter is not bad. Costs $70 up here.
Brian, if you could work on that mic angle, because you're breathing heavy on it, and it's been.
Oh,
No.
thank you.
If you're looking at illegal pot, you can get a half ounce for $50.
A half ounce?
Yes.
Oh man, you
In the state of
you got a
California, in the state of California, at least in my area, where I'm just gonna call it the weed triangle, you can look at a half ounce for $50. In some cases, $50 will get you a full ounce.
Okay,
Shit.
this is
and
why.
you're complaining.
Well, this is why.
No, I'm complaining because if you want to use a medical card, if you want to be an actual person with a medical condition and want to be legal in this, you want to go to a pot store with a goddamn medical card. You can't in the state of California. And you want to know why? Because you only get a 7% discount on a 22% tax revenue on a fucking gram of pot.
Well,
Okay, I can go into the state of Oregon and get a fucking $3.80 gram, $3.80 gram gram pot and walk out with at least a 40 buck ounce
and
without any fucking problem.
that's still legal,
And
or is that
that's legal.
okay? Well, then.
An ounce here will cost you $240.
Oh, darn, Brian is so broken up over this chance to escape. I'm kidding. I'm sorry. No, what I was going to say is I recall that the first time the legal recreational weed came up for a vote in California, it was defeated. And it was defeated because the pot growers were against the legislation because they saw it was going to fuck them over. So I'm guessing that the second time around they just brought the same legislation up and it got through, and that is I think time. It's going to take time for this to all sort out, but what's probably going to happen at the end is the small time growers are all going to go out of business, and big tobacco is going to come in and become big tobacco and weed, and we'll get.
They're already doing so.
Yeah.
They're already doing so. Marlboro is already pushing to have cannabis cigarettes out.
Yeah.
They're already making that possible.
I am sure.
But they're going
Some
to wait
cases.
until it's federally legal.
Right. Yeah.
They're already pushing it to be federally legal. There is a bill called called Bill 420 that has already been looked at and has been trying to be passed a couple of
Bill
times.
420.
Okay, so another side question. What if you grow your own?
You can grow your own. You are allowed up to 6 plants on your property,
Now,
Not non-taxed.
non-taxed.
now,
So why don't
You
do
have
that?
you have to go to the store or find someone who makes
seeds.
that makes the not make the seeds but has the seeds. There
Right.
are companies out there that you can buy the seeds from, and they will discreetly give you the seeds, like mail them to you.
Once you get seeds,
Or-
you can make your own from that. But then that's
Are they
Yeah.
GMO? In other words, do they control them?
Regular seeds are not genetically modified. If you're looking for hybrids, those can be genetically modified. Those who are just female plants can be genetically modified if they're seeds. If you're looking for clones, usually those are cut off from mother plants, and those are usually all females. Females can turn into males at some point if they're really stressed, but that's just a plant thing.
okay.
It's a way to just keep the
Thank you, Venison, for the
to keep the
big
species
drink.
going. There's a couple of different strains out. Well, not a couple. There's multitudes of different strains out there. There's 3 different kind of plants. There's indica sativa, and there's a third one that was found in sort of like Russia, Siberia. You can't really get high off of it, but what they do is they take this third plant and they add it to the indica sativa strains, so that way it makes it more hardier and you can grow it in more colder climates.
Siberia.
So basically, we're at an awkward point of weed history with the whole state legislation. It sounds like California really passed a turkey of a bill, but ultimately, what's going to happen is look at beer, and that's going to be your future of weed. You're going to have your macro brews, and you're going to have your cheap weed cigarettes that big tobacco is going to be pushing out. And if you want something good of quality, you're going to have to pay more for it. And then big tobacco is going to try to keep buying those up, because a lot of the
Or you're going to brew your own.
because a lot of the micro brews are actually being bought up by macro brews, and they keep slapping the same label on them and churning shit out. So now it's hard to even know if you're buying anything good when you go to buy beer, because a lot of these, it really pisses me off how much big companies could just buy up these little companies that we like and then turn it into shit.
Yeah.
It's
And
But this is the standard thing of business.
well, it sucks.
You want to make money, you start a
It could be the
business.
standard thing of business, but it's also
And then
geared
you
towards
cash
the
out by selling
pharmaceutical
your
companies.
business.
Yeah.
It's also geared toward the pharmaceutical companies, because they're also pushing out synthetic drugs that mimic the different terpenes that are found in pot.
We got some talk coming into the chat room. Crowbait69 wrote in, I won't pay all that tax here. Many places to buy street weed. Prices are way off base. Most medical people cannot even buy. Sick people, food or pot for pain. What a choice. So much for smoking a weed. God provides, haha. Bring back the 35 an ounce Mexican weed. And then Dune
Yeah, it's
wanted to
banger
know
weed.
if Bill 420 was real. Which, yes,
I will actually find you information about Bill 420.
I do. When you said that, I was like, "Oh, that has to be true. That is great."
No, it is. It's not called it. There's another bill, but it's
Oh, is that a nickname for the bill?
yeah, it's a
Aw.
nickname for the bill. But it's
I was
considered
hoping it
Bill
was
420.
really like we're up to 360 bills. Let's get this together. We're gonna be come on 419. Put ours in. Bill 420.
And curl bait.
Here,
I
this
remember
is-
was only 25 an ounce.
There's that. And then I'll give it to Dan. This is actually from the Congress. And it is called Bill 420.
Okay.
And it's to remove it from a class 1 controlled substance, and it's also to remove excess taxes, and also give the product be used for more research, and also
Yeah.
also to, I think, I just picked my nose. Great.
We won't tell.
Yeah, I know, but it's also on webcam. Thank you. Let's see, what is it? Bill prohibits marijuana from being shipped or transported into any state jurisdiction where it is illegal. Producers, importers, and exporters and marijuana must be obtained permit by the Department of the Treasury.
Okay.
Comply with certain requirements regard record keeping, packaging, labeling, and
So this would make weed legal on the federal level, or would it just dial back some of the restrictions or classification?
I think it would dial back some of the restrictions. It will, in fact, reduce the excess taxes, and also make it not a Schedule 1 drug. They would reduce the drug penalty to it.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to get through this
the current
Senate, though.
price. So what's the current price of a dime bag? Do they still use that phraseology?
And Darth Vader, why are you reverbed?
Yeah, Brian's breathing's still coming in a little bit. You might even dial up the gate a little bit, but
Dial up the gate.
well, yeah. I think there's a voice activated gate, and one of the sliders on that's something you
You mean there's another option?
Well, there's. Are you using?
That's under preferences, right?
No. There's where is it? I think it's under. Hang on a second, people. We're gonna learn how to use Team Talk. I use the gate on my board, so I don't use the gate in Team Talk, so I don't even know how to set it anymore. But somewhere. Yeah.
Yes.
To the right of the mic level, there's a voice activation level. And the more you turn that dial to the right, the louder you have to talk before it unmutes you.
It's one of those icons.
Yeah. Well, do you see in the bottom
No,
left there are
slider.
3 sliders? The bottom left window of the Team Talk window, there's 3 sliders. There's one next to a speaker. That's the volume you hear. There's one next to a microphone. That's your mic level. And there's the one to the right of the microphone level.
Voice activation. So I'd turn that to the right.
Yeah, if you turn it, the more you turn it to the right, the louder you have to be before it unmutes you.
Okay, 1, 2, 3.
Okay, we still hear you.
And you don't hear the breathing.
Well, we did it in between now, but
Not yet.
Not yet. But we'll let you know.
Okay. Well, we'll play with that.
All right. So, but Lulu.
Oh, yeah, we'll let you know.
So Lulu, what's the price of a dime bag? And I guess, do we want to know legal dime bag versus illegal dime bag, or?
Well, I mean, it's just a. I would say Urban Dictionary term. Don't know what
So-
that's. So in the
Still
old
used.
days, also known as a demon, approximately $10 worth of weed.
Oh, so 10. So how much is a dime bag? $10.
Normal.
But when you buy a bag of weed, how much do you usually get in it?
I've never bought a dime bag.
Okay.
But when you buy weed in a bag, you get an ounce, half ounce.
Well, she said 50 for a half ounce is legal weed, right?
You can
No,
get either
50
an
for a
eighth
half
ounce,
ounce
quarter
is-
ounce, half ounce, or an ounce.
we're trying to do.
I usually
Go ahead.
get a half ounce, and it's $50.
A half ounce here is 140.
Okay. Oh.
So
And that's the illegal shit.
I found how high are taxes of recreational marijuana in your state. This was produced April 24th, 2019. It says, in California, cultivators pay a tax of a rate of $9.25 per ounce of marijuana flowers and $2.75 per ounce of leaves. In addition, retailers collect a 15% tax excess. Retailers collect a 15% excise. I can't pronounce this. Tax from customers on the average market price of the product. So they actually dropped it to 15%. But
Okay. All right. That helps.
they're also... I don't think that's right. But they also charge general sales tax on top of that. So it's 15% plus, I think it's what, 8.25 for
Plus-
sales tax?
And then towns have their own taxes too, and I know this because I bought a when I was living in California, I bought a Mario Kart game for the Wii, and the disc wouldn't work. And so I called them up, and they said, "Well, you can exchange it, but we don't have another used copy of it." And I said, "Well, what about that store over the next town, the other direction?" We'll call them up. Yeah, they got one. You just bring it there, you can exchange it. And so I brought it there to exchange it, and they gave me like a 5-cent refund with the exchange because the town tax was lower in that town than the town I originally bought the game from. So
There you go.
So on top of the 15, you're looking at roughly 7.75 sales tax.
so that's where you get the 22.
So that's where you get about 22% sales tax on a gram of marijuana.
Well,
Yeah, so $50 for half an ounce. That's Nirvana prices. You know, people go nuts over that.
I know I started
Yeah.
looking into what it would take to grow some, and it's a little, I mean, it could be done. I just never got as far as doing it. And then there's a lot to think about with growing it, because then, you know, do you want to grow more seeds or do you want to grow more pot? And it's like, well, you need seeds to keep it
Well-
going, or you have to buy seeds, and growing seeds and
Well,
growing
no,
pots different.
You don't need to grow by seed. The thing is, you just need to keep the goddamn plant alive.
Ah,
Because by seed, you have to worry about the males and the females.
right.
One has a vagina with hairs, the other one has fucking dick and balls. And you can actually tell on the damn plant before they start.
Those are not the
fucking
botanical name
cross-pollinating.
for those parts.
And
No,
and-
they're not. They're not, but you can fucking tell. And
Only
and the
if
thing
you're next
also,
door.
you can get clones from the pot stores, but you're looking at anywhere between $10, $15 to $20 per clone, and depending on what strains and depending on how many they
Well,
have
but
in
then
stock.
once you get it, it's just a matter of keeping it alive, though, right?
Yeah, and then once you get it, it's a matter of keeping it alive. So you're looking at soil, you're looking at if you're going to keep it in the ground, if you're going to do hydroponics, if you're going to do indoor, outdoor, in a greenhouse, there's multiple ways of doing it. And then you have to keep up on pruning, and then you have to wait for it to flower, and you have to know the steps on how to keep it alive. Because a lot of times, like, you can grow fungus on it, you can get gnats, like fucking bugs, you can...
So, wouldn't the best way to learn this would be to work for a grower?
You can work for a grower, or you can find out on different websites.
Oh yeah, the
Well,
bugs.
notoriously, the information on YouTube is going to be
information YouTube's going to be what?
wrong.
Well, not always.
And the bugs
Well,
No,
that
there's-
go
notoriously.
yes, are really weird, man. You get these weird white fluffy things on there, and I don't know what they are. Never seen the strain before.
That's the embedded opium.
They're the fluffy bugs. They look like little tiny things of cotton.
So
No, those are gnats.
I just brought up
Those-
a website for a dispensary that's maybe about
I never seen a gnat that looked like that.
maybe 20 minutes away from me, and I'm a little overwhelmed because there's so many different strains to buy here. Let's see, cookies, Ghost of Leroy
Now, is
OG.
is that Massachusetts or is that Connecticut?
This is Massachusetts. Sour Tsunami, 24K Dream Lotus, Chem number 4, 19-foot Sweet, White 99, Sour Joker.
See, I wouldn't. Okay,
What did I have to pat them off, Red?
don't really worry about the name
Uh-huh.
first starting out. The name is there so you know which strain you like.
Ah.
Right,
I
Worry
because you want a
about the
consistent product.
Go ahead.
Worry about the THC content versus the CBD content, and worry about the strain whether you want indica, sativa, indica hybrid sativa, or sativa hybrid indica.
Okay.
That is what your main concerns are going to be.
So I went up to Maine, and there was something getting passed around, and I noticed, whoa, I feel really mellow. I like this, and
I went indica.
and so that's what I liked. And so then Gothard brought me some stuff, but it was some different stuff, and this stuff just makes me feel sleepy, and so I don't like that stuff. I want this is nice and mellow. I want that stuff. What is that?
Okay, so did you feel it more in your body or did you feel it more in your head?
Yes. Wow. How do you? I just felt really mellow and really like this is all right. I don't know about head or body. I was just feeling really relaxed and chill and.
The majority of the shit they got here in Ohio, oh man, that stuff will knock your ass out in 3 hits. 3 hits, you are stoned, and you can't hold it in for more than 5 seconds.
Yeah.
See, I personally go with indica dominant hybrids. Those are indica hybrid sativas.
Okay. Now, what's indica versus sativa?
Indica is a body high, sativa is a head high.
What's a body high versus a head high?
A head high, it's different for everyone, but for me, it feels like I'm floating, and I get a weightlessness in my head. Sometimes it can trigger headaches for me.
Ooh.
Because I also feel pressure, like intense pressure in my head. And I swim. So sometimes it makes me dizzy.
I see.
The body high for me is a lot more mellow. While with the indica dominant sativa, it will relax my body and also sort of calm my head, but it won't make it so overpowering where I feel like I'm going to like get fucked up in the head.
Is that a difference
can
between
still
the
think.
levels of THC versus CBD?
I haven't seen a variation in that. I think it's how the I think it's how everything is sort of connected when it enters the body, when the chemicals sort of interact. whether it's going to be a body high or a head high.
So indica is more of a body high, whereas sativa is more a head high. Is that? I need to start taking notes here. There's going to be a test on this later. I just know it. Did I get that right?
I will actually
Yeah.
find out.
Indica is body,
what the
sativa is head.
difference is.
I've had shit
Yeah.
where you get a body high, where your whole body just feels heavy. You are stoned like hell, and you feel very heavy.
This site isn't saying anything about the strain. It says that the strain is the name of it. It doesn't. I'm not.
For indica
Maybe this.
and sativa. Stop it.
There are so many strains out now. I think even they can't keep
Oh,
up.
here we go. So if I want to get some good body highs, I want to take a look at indica. 1 gram pre-roll Death Star. Okay, all right.
Death Star is good. I've had Death Star.
Oh,
And there's a black cat there.
Yes, that was Binks.
Nickel bags.
nickel bags. And if we want to look at some sativa, we got ourselves some Sour Joker or 1 gram pre-roll Sour Diesel.
Haven't seen a nickel bag in like 40 years.
And I guess we could look
You know,
at.
because it doesn't come that cheap anymore.
Yeah, really.
I mean, that's when those terms were invented, when it was cheap.
Yeah.
In fact, that article kind of mentions, oh yeah, it's typically between a half to 1 gram, and you don't get it that cheap anymore.
Okay.
So
So this is what's chemically different between the sativa and indica indica strains. Sativa cannabinoid profile is dominated by high THC levels and low or no CBD levels. Indica chemical profile shows more balanced mix with moderate THC levels and higher levels of CBD. Indica dominant strains are higher in cannabinoid CBD. Dominant sativa dominant strains are higher in the THC cannabinoid.
Okay. All right.
And people won't be interested in that. They just want to know, how high will I get?
I think I want to just walk into a dispensary and go, I want to feel mellow. And see what they recommend. See how that goes.
Yeah, well, for
and,
me,
and they'll come
I
back
like
and say,
the...
"Are you interested in some quad?"
No.
It's funny. Some years ago, when the Lou Reed Metal Machine Music Quad Mix got reissued on DVD and Blu-ray because I kept nagging them to do that, and it worked. There was this rock blog that made some kind of a sarcastic comment about, because just what we need, a bunch of distorting guitars and surround sound. And I commented on it going, no, this is awesome. I, talked to Lou Reed, gave him the idea, and it's been great. I highly recommend buying this. And so someone at this blog decided, oh, this sounds really cool. Would you do an interview with us about, your interest in quad and surround sound and all that? And I'm like, yeah, sure, whatever. And so they sent me a list of questions, and I answered them. And one of the questions was, does smoking pot enhance the experience of listening to music in quad? And
Oh, yes.
unfortunately, at the time, my answer was I wouldn't know. So I was really sad I couldn't help them out with that question. But
Oh, that's a definite yes.
it's so good that many times Venison thought he was listening to quad when he was just stoned.
Pretty much.
As we've proven many times on this.
I've heard some weird shit.
I'm still waiting for. There's this dispensary that's supposed to be opening up right in this town, and they got a website, and they're on the map and everything, but it always keeps on being like, to be open soon. And it's like, what the fuck? You've been saying opening soon for over a year now. Could you just open the damn place and sell me some pot, please? I'm here for pot.
Have you actually gone down to the location to see if it's actually open, or have you just visited the site?
I visited the. Oh, you know what? They were gonna update the website, but then they got high. Ooh. Gonna hit that post it right now button. And then I got high.
But yeah, that could be a difference between them not having someone to look at the website and actually being open, because they could be actually working on a different website.
Huh.
And just leaving that one in the dust.
So I might have to just,
actually go down there and check.
Go down there and check. Have they opened?
He wants his yellow. He wants his yellow.
You know what? I'm gonna.
So there was a shop in San Ramon, California, that their sign was up for a long time. It's like, when are these people going to open? When are they going to open? And then there was a sign on it from the city that the permits were invalid and they had to pay a big old fine. But then suddenly they were opened. So something happened and they were okay. Oh, wait a minute. This is a place called Code Ninja. This is to teach kids about programming.
Code Ninja?
Is that a cool name?
That is a cool name. All right, let's see. Pot shop plans heard by my town's zoning board for first time. This is an article from June of last year. So it looks like they're still going through all the zoning and applications during last year. So that was... So I don't know where that landed. Let's see. State regulators shut down marijuana license, but that's for a different place. Okay, so that doesn't help. Yeah, I don't know what the deal is with this place, but it's like, God damn it, open up already. I want to buy some pot.
Yeah, you'll have to go down to the actual location to find out if it's open at that point.
I'll just go to a place that updated their website and said they're open. Of course, the closest place I can find is like a half hour away.
Dude, I have to go into the other state.
I know.
My county wants to add another 6% tax to recreational marijuana.
Just buy it in a different county.
Well, see, here's where the mistake is. Here they're trying to tax potheads, and we know that potheads don't make a lot of money.
Right.
Just
No.
tax billionaires. Oh, that's right. They control everything. Never mind.
Yeah.
Well, who says, not all potheads don't not make money. I'm sure there are plenty of successful
Yeah, but if you make the real money, you're doing cocaine instead.
Oh, I see.
Apparently, cocaine is a waste. I didn't know this
I wouldn't do it.
by personal reason. I've just heard it from like a bunch of people. They're like, they don't know why like people who have billions of dollars would waste their money on cocaine, because it's just a fucking waste.
I've heard it's quite a
People
rush.
apparently have cocaine parties.
I don't get it myself. I want to mellow out. I don't want to, everything's moving too fast as it is. I don't.
It's like
I don't need that.
It's like, would you rather have pot and like mellow out in a fucking hot tub with like a bunch of bitches around you, or do you really want to have like screaming lights at you and possibly have a brain aneurysm as you sniff a line of coke off of a hooker's ass?
Anyone? Well, wait a minute. I was gonna say no, but then you brought in the hooker's ass. How old's the hooker?
A sprightly 20-year-old.
Okay, all right. Yeah.
with a 2-year-old to feed, but you're paying her
Well,
$1,000
you know,
for an hour,
Wouldn't
so
hurt to-
that way you can snort coke off of her plush ass.
wouldn't-
I don't know.
wouldn't hurt to try it once. You know, supposedly the first one's free. Can I take the free sample off the hooker's ass?
But it's prime cocaine made with Ajax.
Must be some kind of a
You're
new
rubbing
strain.
it on your teeth and it's turning blue.
Must be some type of a new strain that turns blue when it gets. That was a great scene from Cheech and Chong's Up in Smoke when the lady snorts the Ajax. she Oh, I gotta find that sound now. I'm just googling that right now. Cheech Chong Ajax. There you go. And that's probably much cheaper than the than actual cocaine.
What you sniffing? Baking soda and Ajax, thank you. What's that? Hillbilly cocaine.
It's not really.
Oh, there she goes. Ajax. Oh my God. 4 lines.
Jeez, I don't believe it.
Oh, is that great?
Well, what a rush, huh? What's that stuff like?
Ajax is good shit.
Sure, if you want to, like, clean your brain, I guess.
It can't be any worse than
Brainwash anyone?
Hey, you know what? One thing I will say, snorting Ajax can't be any worse than snorting cocaine. So
I choose cocaine at that point. If I have to snort something, I ain't snorting Ajax.
the cocaine ain't gonna turn blue when it gets wet. What fun is that?
Dude, I don't want to be looking like I fucking ate a bunch of Smurfs. Fuck.
It comes back to the Smurfs. We're back on the Smurfs now.
Especially you missing the baking soda.
Good shit.
What you want to talk about?
No,
that?
but anyone who listens to my show knows I don't need to speed up. I need to slow down. So clearly, no cocaine. Just stick to the pot.
Well, there are some advantages, but we won't say.
Advantages to what? The cocaine?
Yeah.
Okay. Such as?
I'm not saying.
Yeah. You are
Like
not
what,
a senator.
Your brain falling
and you're,
out of the back of your skull?
Well,
Oh.
I suppose if you need to go a week without sleep, you do have that option. But
Well, I
I-
guess if you have some Viagra and a toothless hooker, you can make a Dippin' Dots.
my toothless. Wait a minute.
With the cocaine, you can make a Dippin' Dots with your dick.
I was all for snorting the cocaine off the 20-year-old's ass, but now you brought a toothless hooker into this. This is just,
Last for hours.
Brian, what are you up to over there? You,
I was just checking something real quick.
just making sure you were still in the right show.
Yeah.
Good part. Oh,
It's
I
like,
missed
is
the
this
good
thing
part.
on right?
Oh man. Okay. All right. So we've covered.
Yes, it turned into that show where you're dipping dicks into some cocaine. For a toothless hooker.
No. We had the 20-year-old ass with the cocaine on it.
No,
How
no,
did we end up
no.
with the toothless hooker?
No, sorry.
Is that how
Sorry,
cocaine
you-
works? You start the night out snorting coke off the ass of a 20-year-old hooker, you wake up with a toothless hooker and Viagra?
Do you think that's
Yes.
what Jackson Brown was talking about?
No, you don't put the coke on your dick. Smoke it.
For the toothless hooker, you are.
I don't know. I'm not familiar with Jackson Brown's discography, but I don't have a feeling. I have a feeling none of his songs have anything to do with a toothless hooker and Viagra and Ajax. Just a hunch.
Probably not.
It sounds like a backwoods Okie.
We have to write this song down. One Viagra, one toothless hooker, and a can of Ajax. There we go. There's our next song. I need to register the domain name tonight.
Oh, that would be an interesting porno.
Okay. All right, I gotta tweet this shit now. There we go. There's our
the
next
domain.
hit song.
Make the domain, please. One Viagra, one toothless hooker, and a can of Ajax. We're gonna have to attribute that. There we go. Oh my lordy!
There's our next hit song. One Viagra, one toothless hooker, and a can of Ajax.
Just wow.
It needs to be a country song.
It would have to be a country song. I don't think that's going to be a disco dance hit. I'm just...
Oh lordy!
Driving this big rig down the street, and all I got is one Viagra, one toothless hooker, and a can of Ajax.
Could be a metal song.
Pulled up to the party. I don't know where I'm going with this.
Got some bounce in my feet, and I pulled out the Ajax.
Can we
and drank down that Viagra?
remember that Bill Maher movie where there was like a truck stop church? I feel like that needs to be worked into this song somehow.
Oh my god! I don't know, man.
I don't know. Maybe out in the back parking lot of the truck stop church with the Viagra, the one toothless hooker, and a can of Ajax. I don't. I'm not sure how to make this flow right.
Let's check out these lyrics. Are you ready?
Okay. All right.
Oh no, he's writing
Take Sally, I'll take Sue. There ain't no difference between the two. I think that's toothless hookers and cocaine.
I think that works for toothless hookers.
That's the song I'm talking about.
There we go. There we go. We've now, is that already taken? Or did you just make that up?
No, that's the lyrics for the song.
The
Jackson Brown song.
Oh, this is a song that already exists.
Wow, that went on for 20 years. Holy shit.
What?
Nothing.
Well, no, don't tell me you found the Ajax can.
Well, it wasn't Ajax, but that went on for 20 years. Holy shit. Ever since I broke the ankle. And they bring over 2 8 balls. The pain in the ankle went away, but I wanted to go out and paint the garage. It's a great way to get rid of pain.
Okay. Now, does it get rid of the pain, or it just makes you forget you have the pain?
I'm not quite sure.
It does one of those. But you don't care.
Yeah. And then there was another advantage, but like I said, we won't talk about that.
It's the senator from New Jersey getting ready to plead the fifth now.
Hey, why not? They do it all the time now.
Just as long as you vote guilty, it's all good. Bam! Got you one in there. All right. So, anyways, we are down to the 5-minute mark. You know what that means? That means we have to start winding things down a little bit, take it down a notch, hide the hookers and the coke in the closet, in case you know.
Oh, those were wonderful years.
But speaking of wonderful years,
There we go. That's a little bit of the song in the chat.
Oh boy, we're oh, wrong chat. That chat. Let's see. Oh my two-tooth Sally, what you doing with that Ajax can? I'm taking my Viagra and ready for that ass. Oh yeah, we'll work that in there. This is good. Darn, you know, we still haven't written Twinkie Pants yet though, and I still have that domain name registered. It was gonna be the dance sensation that swept the nation, Twinkie Pants. I was gonna come up with dance
Twinkie
moves and
Pants.
everything. We even asked the.
What was
Go ahead.
What was Twinkie Pants about again?
So when I was doing when I first started the show, living in Maine, I would sometimes pack my computers up in my car when I would come down to visit my family over the weekends in Jersey, and me and my brother and sisters would do live show from my parents' basement. And so my brother and his friend, Sega, they came up with this like game that had a wheel that you spun. It was with different consequences and things like that, so that we like play like a trivia game, and if you got the question wrong, you had to spin the wheel. And one of the things on the wheel was Twinkie Pants, where you had to take Twinkies out of the wrapper and shove them in your pants and sit down. And so at some point when I was talking about this a year or two ago, I said, well, we should make that like the next YouTube viral dance meme, Twinkie Pants. I was inspired by the Apple Pen song. I figured if I have a pen, I have an apple. Apple Pen could be a hit. I figure I got my Twinkie Pants. Twinkie Pants. Twinkie. Yeah, something like that. That was the idea. But I never quite got more lyrics worked out than just talking about Twinkie Pants over and over again. But maybe that's all it needed.
But you got the leak. You got the lyrics.
I got the
And the cream filling got replaced.
So, yeah, Twinkie Pants was going to be the dance sensation that swept across the nation, and I even registered TwinkiePants.com for that. I just never got as far as actually...
Wasn't it going to be a theme for one year, like 2018 or something?
I think 2018
Personally,
was supposed to be the year of Twinkie Pants. I did register the
Personally,
domain
I
name.
think it should be
It
a
did not
viral
happen.
video.
Well, there was going to be. I was going to star in it. I was going to do the Twinkie Pants dance.
No, don't star in it. I say get a Ken doll with like a mini strap on and put Twinkies as his pants.
No, I want this
Have
to...
you like...
I want this to be
Have you,
appropriate
like,
for
dance
all
him around?
ages. I want everyone to be
No,
dancing the
make it
Twinkie
like-
Pants.
Dude.
Yes.
You'll be like...
Anyways,
Or wear Twinkie like a set of chaps, right?
there you go. So
Just one on each leg.
2020 is going to be the year of Twinkie Pants and one Viagra, one hooker, and a can of Ajax. I don't think those are going to be the same song. I think those are two very different songs, but this is the year that it happens. So we already got the first two singles from my first album.
Oh my God.
Anyways, we do try to be educational here on our show, and I know I have learned a lot, but we should go around the room. We'll go counterclockwise this week. So, Lulu, what have you learned this week?
Why is it always me?
All right, we'll go clockwise. Venison, what have you learned this week?
Well, I've learned that somebody sits there and complains about $50 an ounce for weed, while everybody else is paying close to $400. and I learned that you have an interesting drug history, which I never knew about. And I was like, oh, Viagra, cocaine.
I don't know. You were talking about your 8 balls there, though, so we learned a lot about your drug history, too. Brian.
And Twinkie Pants.
Brian, what have you learned this week?
Twinkie Pants.
Twinkie Pants. And Lulu, what have you learned this week?
I've learned the same thing that I've learned every week.
Okay.
Every Monday. I've learned. Fucking Brian.
Everyone's looking. Tell us the secret that you've learned.
I've learned that I'm a pothead.
Just now?
And I've learned that you're an
I
intellect.
have turned into a fucking pothead.
I've learned that you're a well-learned pothead. You know your pot well.
Knowledge is power.
Yes. And on that note, we have come to the end of another episode, but there is more entertainment to be had. So don't you go anywhere, especially you fellows on Twitch, because we are going to go and we are going to raid Ray Rachel and see what she's going to paint on herself this week.
I got some places to go.
Okay. Well,
I like to make me write a song. I like that guy.
Well, at least stick around long enough to say hi to Ray Rachel, and tell her Gator sent you. She'll know what that means. That means that we rated her channel. Mountain Man says, "What's up? My roommate is Nah, we would, but we're ending the show. So thank you, Mountain Man, for stopping by, and the rest of you watching. And stay tuned for the raid with Ray Rachel. And also be sure to check out AnsweRadio.com and follow me on YouTube as well. And YouTube.com/Johnny Gators.
And Mountain Man, that's not happening in this country. We won't allow it.
Anyways, thank you, everyone, and good night. All right, there goes the raid.
I miss the hood parties.